Hey guys, it's Sorgatron at Sorgatron on the Twitter here in Mayhem Studios in Pittsburgh, PA, doing another Google Hangout podcast wrap-up thing. We're looking at Chikara's King of Trios. A couple of us went on a road trip this past weekend, and one of us actually knows some of these guys and how to pronounce some of the names. With me is one of my road trip buddies for the weekend. If I can find my mouse so I can select them for you guys on video, he's the Rizz.
It's me, Sorg.
The Rizz on the Twitter.
We spent 3 days together.
My wife was there too. That's fine.
In the same bed.
No, we didn't. We didn't.
We were I was the big spoon. You were the little spoon.
No.
It was magical.
No.
And I had a great time.
It was, but not what you're saying is. But yes, it was magical. King of Trios was amazing. Rizz's first Chikara show
ever.
And of course, myself, I was back at 2010 King of Trios. Of course, haven't seen it in Cleveland. Here to help us, kind of our Chikara pronouncer and etc. And also a friend of Chikaran's. He's the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling that has a Battle Wars show, yet another one coming up here in December where they team up with Chikara down in Austin, Texas. Eamon Payton joins us.
I'm here to help pronounce names because if you watch the main Wrestling Mayhem show, I mispronounced something. If you watch the main Wrestling Mayhem show, Sorg can't pronounce complex names like Finn Balor.
Finn Balor. I gotta write down that pronunciation because sometimes it gets a little heated in discussion. I forget. So I don't know where I don't have a format for this. This might be just a lot of man that was cool, But this was King of Trios. It's a 6-man tags. It's about 16 teams, I believe. Yeah, 8 matches the first night, and it plays out over 3 days. There's a lot of other great stuff. They have a lot of stars, a lot of surprises. This really is. I think this is Chikara's WrestleMania, basically, right?
It is. Yeah.
Because I don't think any of their events equal the size of what this one does. So I think that's pretty cool, and I was so glad to get a few new people out there to check it out and see what that experience is like. First of all, Rizz, what are your initial impressions of Chikara live?
It's amazing. It's something that I can't really explain. Like just the fact that there's a company out there that is devoted to be fan-friendly and entertaining and popular and fun and
family-friendly.
Interesting.
Family-friendly, remember.
Family-friendly, kid-friendly, casual watcher-friendly, hardcore watcher-friendly. Everything about it is directly towards you watching professional wrestling, because that's how they like professional wrestling. That's what they do. They don't want to get. I mean, most of those guys that we saw in there are going to be Chikara for ever, I think. But it's still very, very fun.
It's great. It's if you're not familiar with Mike Quackenbush, of course, did a great speech in Philadelphia at one of their kind of important TED type things about wrestling and the art form that it is, and I think this is a pretty good expression of that. There's a tweet from Bryce Rensburg, friend of the Indie Mayhem show, of course, friend of Eamon down there, and it was after night 2, and it was something akin to when you have all the different kinds of brushes and the right kinds of strokes, you make something really great. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, but that's really what it felt like, because we had with King of Trios. Well, let me talk about the audience. I want to talk about the audience first, because again, not recalling too much of the audience from the couple times we had been there. And of course, the one was kind of conjoined with AIW, so I think we got a little bit of that crowd when we were up in Cleveland when Eamon joined us. But you know, I remember standing in line in this, and I remember like somebody commented about the family friendly thing in line. And I'm like, yeah, I'm looking around, and I just see like hardcore wrestling things. You know, as somebody walking around with a hardcore wrestling Cactus Jack thing. You know. But realizing how many kids there were there, not a huge amount, not a huge amount. It's not something that there's like half kids in the audience or anything. There's wrestling fans. It's wrestling fans, right? But it's great to see like I know somebody I know you knew there came with his entire family.
His entire family.
2 daughters, and they were loving it. And I thought that was tremendous.
And a baby.
And a baby who got to chop one of the wrestlers.
Yes.
Because we did see a conga line that was basically the entire match. But it's the variety of that, the variety of the people that could come and enjoy this kind of thing. We were fortunate. Well, unfortunately, some people had to back out of the trip, so I was stuck with 2 tickets the entire weekend. Then I realized and started tweeting with one guy that I realized was about 40 minutes away in Reading, PA. A friend of the show, you know, talked about longtime fans. We may have heard me talking about Nero of the Awful Show, now the Fun Podcast, and he got to come out. And he brought his kid, and he's again not somebody that's actively watching wrestling. I don't think even the kid was really.
No, the kid doesn't. That was his first wrestling show.
That was his first wrestling show ever. Doesn't frequently
first
watch
wrestling
it.
experience.
Yeah, and they both came away like, okay, see you next year.
Yeah.
So I mean, I thought that was great. I saw a tweet when I got home late Sunday night, and I was like, "Hey, see you at King of Trios 2017. Make sure it starts Friday with barbecue at my house." I'm like, oh crap, okay. So there you go. We're already lined up for that. Whenever that's going to be. So I thought that was really cool. Now going to the variety. Oh, go ahead, Rizz.
And I was going to say it was weird because we traveled about 5 hours to get there. And in my head, I'm like, okay, there's no way we're not going to be the ones that go there's no way we're going to be the first. We are definitely going to be the furthest one that goes there. Like, there's no way this is going to be Ali. And because West Coast had their Bola, VWG had Bola, and East Coast had Chikara. And I was thinking, there's no way people are going to travel this far for Chikara. But we had people, we in line, we talked to people from West Virginia, Ohio, Wisconsin, which is my favorite, and Alabama. So we had, it's like you said, Sorg, this is their WrestleMania, and they proved it with the amount of people that are there.
There's also, I know a couple of people from the UK even came down.
Yeah, that was interesting. I think we saw them in line as well.
Well, I know one was involved with the podcast as well.
Yeah, I host the New Generation podcast, which I think there's a special episode that Mike Quackenbush and Bryce have been on, where they review like a '93 episode of Raw.
I actually think that guy was on the Something Blue podcast or Deep Blue podcast.
And by the way, I want to do a plug for the Deep Blue Something podcast. There's some great stories about Joey Styles being a human being that I'm not going to spoil for anyone any further. And also, there's something about their doctor. There's something if you don't know the story, there's something very, very significant in wrestling history about the doctor that they often use in Chikara. And you may want to get a new doctor on the other end of Pennsylvania, as we do, after that. So looking forward to that as well. So you know, we talk about the variety of fans and everything going into this show, but the variety of wrestling that we saw was incredible.
Yes.
I knew we were going to have a fairly intergender thing going on. I knew that there were 2 Japanese-based teams who I think everybody just became absolute fans of. I was looking up YouTube videos of some of the ones and trying to figure out what their names were because I didn't catch anybody's name except everybody was chanting Dash. I caught that one. I went with that. But just again, that variety and the interesting characters that you always see with Chikara, including a hermit crab and rock lobster,
Thunder Frog,
Orange Cassidy coming out with Drew Gulak was amazing, and then stuff like you did have the original Divas Revolution of Mickie James, Jazz and Victoria, and the team of Solo Darling and Crazy Mary Dobson and Candice LeRae, right? And then those people got all mixed in with the guys like throughout the weekend. Like it was interesting to see the WWE women get involved in intergender wrestling over the weekend. I thought that was really cool to see.
I think it's really cool because usually with trios every year, there's a mix of usually modern independent wrestlers, Chikara talents, national talents, and then some old school teams. You know, but we've never. I think the one old school team this year, and there's never been an old school team like it, is a team full of old school women.
Right.
Usually it's your 1, 2, 3 kids and your people like that kind of style wrestler. But like to have your callback team be women's wrestlers, I think is really cool.
Yeah, I thought that was really awesome. There was another callback that happened as well. They had their tag team gauntlet, and if you're not familiar, I discovered this just like as they were introduced. The gentleman from that nobody could ever pronounce from Ecuador came out with 2 guys that this Boar character that looks like Diesel, and a guy that another guy, and they're supposed to be representing different countries, I guess. And the one guy like dressed like X-Pac, wrestled at X-Pac, and even like his mask has his tongue hanging out like X-Pac. Spoiler alert, but they end up at the end of the tag team gauntlet, and then who comes out? They play the DX music. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, well, at least Xbox is coming out. I know Xbox's been here before, right? And Billy Gunn comes out with him, which led to the most magical moment of the weekend. Not including like the final and how amazing that was, but the most magical moment of Billy Gunn telling the opponent to suck it, and everybody chanting a family show at him.
And he had no idea what was going on.
Xbox let him know that he didn't warn them about that. That it's the only place where they don't want to hear him say that. And it was tremendous.
And then the best part was it dawned on him right after he goes, "That's why they want me to be rockabilly."
Yeah.
and then he did the pose, and it was interesting. Can we say the other mix-up, the mix that didn't really happen until night 3? That wasn't supposed to happen, Sorg?
You're talking about the finals of the hold on.
Rey de Voladores.
Thank you. Because they don't have it here in these results that I pulled up.
We had CWC versus Lucha Underground.
Yeah.
How? Where?
Supposedly Frightmare got hurt, and they subbed in Tony Nese to take on Aerostar.
Mm-hmm.
Which was amazing. Which turned into a please don't die match between the two of them. Nese was busted open by his eye. It looked like Aerostar looked like he missed somewhere, and it was pretty crazy. It was pretty awesome. Of course, that followed the Conga line match. So.
Yeah, and Aerostar, we go on to win Rey de Voladores, which, if you don't know, Chuck Taylor years ago translated to King of the Flippy Little Boys.
That's about right. I
do remember that.
That was great. The gauntlet was awesome. And again, like throughout the weekend, you saw my wife is a huge fan of Kimberly now, Princess Kimberly. After this weekend, I got to play N64 No Mercy with the Estonian Thunderflog. He is a hell of a trash talker, and I really wish I remembered how to do reversals and specials in No Mercy, or I would have fared a little bit better, but I think I held my own pretty well.
I did watch the live stream on Wrestling Mayhem Show Facebook of that. I love him saying that were you playing as Kurt Angle, and he was saying he was going to re-break your neck?
Yeah, he was like the entire time. He was like, I'm going to break your neck, 1996.
And then he started doing the "You suck" chant really loud, and then all of a sudden he goes, "Oh, I can't say that."
Oh crap! I can't say that here. This is not my first encounter with the Estonian Thunderfrog. Because at the initial National Pro Wrestling Day, we were there representing international wrestling, or International Wrestling Cartel, the IWC, as part of that. I was there with then promoter at the DVD table. I mean, I had never seen the Estonian Thunder Frog, but he does walk up and starts talking to me in some Estonian accent or something. So he's apparently learned English a little better and has a whole other accent, I guess, which is very trash talky, but that was interesting. Also, we need to talk about Team CWC the first night. Mm-hmm. The fun they had with that match. They did like all the setups like the CWC, like the Cruiserweight Classic. That you guys heard the rules in the back, shake your hands. Like they lined them up and did that. And Bryce goes, it's in their contract. There's a point in the match where I think Gargano goes, and again, this is Johnny Gargano, Cedric Alexander, and Drew Gulak. And he goes, let's show them what we learned, and they proceed to do the Dudley Boys was up move. Didn't they do pedigrees at some point?
They did.
Yep.
They did the was up. They did the 5-knuckle shuffle.
They did the 5-knuckle
and
shuffle
and the pedigree all in a row.
Yeah. So obviously they're teaching them the good stuff down there at the Performance Center. So.
Oh, and when they did the was up, instead of getting the tables, Gargano turned to, I believe, Cedric, or probably I think it was Cedric, and Gulak as well. And instead of get the tables, they asked them to get the hammer, and they can't lift the hammer.
Yeah, the selling hammer. Also, you got so Oleg, the large guy that's with them. And this is a team that's headed by Princess Kimberly, of course. And Oleg's probably like the biggest ad they got there.
Can you say that again, Sorg?
Oleg? What?
Oleg.
Kimberly. Oleg.
Balor.
Damn it. Because when you say it, I think you're messing with me and saying it the wrong way, so I say it the other way. Anyways, we noticed this because we sat over by the entrance the second and third night, and he wears this big chest piece, right? Like this big kind of character chest piece thing, right? And there's at least 3 trainees carrying it to the back, and it's heavy. Like it's heavy. Like they had to put it down and rest halfway up the aisle, and they're like, and they come back from the entrance and they're holding their backs. Love it, absolutely love it. Fantastic stuff. And again, we got our finals: Team Sendai girls, Team JWP, all Japanese, Queen of Trios. Of course, Team Sendai girls came out the winners for this. Eamon, remember when I was trying to watch women's wrestling in Japan for a while there?
Yeah, and you were like, I can't do it.
Yeah, guess what I'm back to doing now that I have. Listen, I know some people, and it's I have this anchor now, Dash, and crap, I don't even remember what the other girl's name. The one with the clown nose.
Command Bolshoi. She was part of Team JWP.
Thank you. She comes out, this little Spitfire thing with nunchucks and a clown nose on her mask, and she's like the most badass girl out there. And the other one, and the one was headbanging the whole time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that was Cassandra Miyagi. She was one of the newer members. Because I think it's a really great story, especially with Team Sendai winning. Because I think it was back in 2012. Team Sendai girls made it to the semifinals.
Okay.
Losing to Team ROH, which was the Young Bucks and Mike Bennett. And it was and many called that the best match of that tournament that year because it told a really great story throughout the tournament. So this is almost a bit of a retribution, I guess, in a sense, for Team Sendai girls winning the tournament this year. So I think that's really cool as well.
Of course, Joey Styles was there the entire weekend announcing everything. We kind of forgot about it for what they announced them the first night, and that was about it. I really want to go rewatch this show with Joey Styles commentary.
Which you can right now.
Yes. And one of the matches is their free match Monday is the mustache Major League Mustache taking on the Batiri and whoever they teamed up with. So yeah, you can get a little sample of that. I haven't got the chance to. I watched some clips. I didn't get to listen to much of his commentary. Joey Styles got confirmed and knew nothing about Chikara like 24 hours before the event. Apparently crammed.
Yeah, he asked. This is a little bit of the podcast, the Dark Deep Blue something podcast that we were talking about before. Apparently, he talked to Tommy Dreamer, and Tommy Dreamer told him everything, like gave him the okay, gave Chikara the okay, and everything was gravy after that. So Joey Styles and the workhorse that he was went out and bought a tie and the little
the kerchief.
Yes, the deep blue tie and deep blue kerchief.
So he could match
for the Knights.
Nice.
I mean,
absolute professional.
Wow.
I think and that's been mentioned a lot, and I think that story kind of like really shows it. Is like, I think one of the best things about Chikara, and I think for the little like Inspire Pro Wrestling, I think we kind of feel the same way sometimes. Is it's really cool when talents that are either bigger names or outside talents or whatever come in and really enjoy what they're doing and really enjoy getting to work for you. I know Victoria had a really great post on social media talking about how she loved working for Chikara, how it kind of reinvigorated her passion for professional wrestling. Like, you know, that's really cool. I know, like, X-Pac had like a very similar experience his first year at Chikara for King of Trios. Like, he, you know,
and the look, and at the end of the gauntlet match, Billy Gunn, after the whole, you know, I'm sorry and all that stuff, he goes, "This is really cool. This is really awesome. And this is amazing." Like he was at a loss for words, and of course they like kind of joked it up, saying that they skipped the Misfits reunion, and what was the
movie night with his wife.
Was it movie night, Sorg?
Yeah, it was movie night with his wife.
Movie night. Yeah, it was. I thought I said loogie night, but movie night with his wife.
That doesn't make any sense, Rizz.
That does not make any sense at all. But yeah, he also really enjoyed it, and it like for the first, he was like the way he was doing it was the way I was feeling, and it was amazing. Like it was just in awe of everything that's happening around here. We had a mixture of a plethora of things to do and watch and experience all in 3 nights. 3 nights of awesome. That's what Chikara was.
Certainly.
Let me ask, if you don't mind me jumping in, Sorg, I got 2 questions I want to ask both of you guys.
Okay.
Because I think this would be a cool way to kind of get some stuff from you guys. I think I asked some of them to Rizz too as well before. Most impressive, either the wrestler or the team you were most impressed by.
You know who really surprised me? I'm not going to say impressed. I want to say surprised.
All right. Well, surprise was going to be my other question.
Oh, okay. Okay, then I'll do impressed. Impressed? Can I throw all the Japanese girls in together?
Sure.
Because
can you name them, Sorg?
No, I can't. Dash something, command something.
I'll run those 2 right now. Team Jet was Command Bolshoi, who you mentioned before. Is the one with the clown nose. Hanako Nakamori and Minami Katsu. That's Team JWP. And then Team Sendai Girls is Cassandra Miyagi, who was the headbanger kind of one. Dash Shizako. And Mako Satomura, who was the captain of the team, founder of Sendai. I've said this to Rizz, secretly one of the best wrestlers in the world. Like, she is...
Oh, I believe it. Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely believe it.
She is considered, I think, she's not always considered in that echelon, even when it comes to like you think of your Bull Nakanos and your Aja Kongs, usually when you think of Japanese women's wrestling. I think Mako's up there. And Mako's been doing it for so long. Like, she's been doing it just as long as some of those girls.
I was amazed. Command Boshi, I know it's debuted in 1991.
Yeah.
I was reading Wikipedia, and I'm like, my wife was in the room. I'm like, she's at 91. She's what? What? That's 26 years ago, 25 years ago. Wow. And she was still like outpacing like all the young guys. Just tremendous. Definitely surprised. One, by their appearance, and then two, followed by their performance, because I had not seen these guys in action, and I don't know if this is them generally or whatnot, but Submission Squad.
Yes.
Wow. It was like, man, like they were up against the Ants, which are like pretty much the John Cena Chikara. Is my take on them. And I'm like, man, are they going to do this? They were the surprise. They were the replacement because Hornswoggle couldn't make it. And again, to see the friends of the show and everything, I thought was awesome. Was absolutely awesome. And Davey Vega was in an amazing submission fight with the white ant. Silver Ant, thank you.
Silver Ant, yeah.
And that was tremendous and had everybody going. And it was great. Barnow, man. It was great.
Awesome. How about you?
Not to mention, the guy with all the submission moves is wearing a damn Ghostbusters outfit.
That's true. He also has some. I don't know if you could see it with the outfit. He has some amazing Ghostbusters tattoos. Rizz, most impressed and most surprised.
Most impressed. I was impressed by the debut of the bikers.
I did not catch their name.
The bicyclists. Oh, we did. Yeah, we were going over it.
It was Joseph and what was the other name?
Not Clayton.
Cliff? No.
Clinton and Joseph. I think it was. Yeah.
But yeah, they're like they are a good Chikara team. They're bicyclists. They have their gimmick down pat. They come out with the bike helmets. They come out with their little ringers, like the little bike ringers, which is awesome. And they are actually pretty damn good tag team. They got the crowd behind them during the gauntlet match of the other team that was there, but it was amazing to see, and it was really cool to see them debut then.
Yeah.
Surprising. Man, that's a good question. Did I have one for you? The surprising one when you told me this off the air?
I'm trying to think.
Well, can I add a tone change from me? So while you're thinking of that, because sometimes I'll have not really thought much of a wrestler until I've seen them in a certain situation or saw them in a different match. Like I was sour on Jon Moxley for the longest time. Because
good job, Sorg.
I just saw a really horrendous match with him that didn't make any sense. I'm like, all right, that was a thing, I guess. Whatever this guy's about. Until obviously Dean Ambrose, but Drew Gulak. He was in that trios match, which was amazing just in general, and you just kind of expected. And I already had been kind of warming up on him from his match at Cruiserweight Classic, but and then like he was still there the second day. Like he was going around and he was like doing some Periscope or something like over by the M64 stuff we were doing.
No, he took Rob Diamondfire's Periscope.
Yeah, he was doing that stuff and everything. He was kind of having fun with it. Like, okay, that's cool. He's hanging out. And I realized he wasn't on night 2. Like he wasn't booked. He didn't wrestle night 2. And then they came out with Orange Cassidy on the last day in the tag gauntlet, which Orange Cassidy, that's my first experience of that guy. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Well. You saw why I think I blew your ear out whenever he came out. So
Rizz like popped, and I'm like, what is happening? I know who that guy is, but what is this dude? And
what is this dude coming out?
But it ends up with Drew Gulak being caught in a fishing net. And then apparently Rizz went and got a picture with him, still in the fishing net at intermission after the match. Mm-hmm. And Rizz, I know you didn't get an autograph, and you were sad you didn't. What was he doing? What was he doing for autographs?
He was signing it in the fishing net with motivational quotes about fishing and about being in net or net related quotes. and I really wanted to grab one just to see what it said.
Amazing.
Pretty amazing. But
I had followed that segment on social media. My favorite part was one of the girls who did it, who's part of Team Sea Stars, who's the female tag team that was in the Gauntlet.
Yeah.
I love her tweet afterwards saying, "It's like I thought that Drew Gulak has said before he liked catch wrestling."
yeah.
You know?
Oh, wow.
So going back to your question, Eamon, I'm kind of going to stick with a theme here about being a Chikara thing, being a part of Chikara. I was not really into when I first heard about the character. I was not really into Chuck Taylor TM.
Oh yeah.
Chuck Taylor trademark. But during the match, everything changed. Like the fact that he came out singing, and then everybody from Vlad to Bryce to even Calhoun, they were all dancing to him singing, to him talking to the crowd like he's at a concert, to him still talking when the match is going on, to him messing up Calhoun's hair, to him going up after getting chopped millions of times and starts singing "Say My Name" because it was Beyonce's birthday.
Yeah.
The crowd knew a lot of the words too.
Yeah, that was amazing. But I grew to like Chuck Taylor TM. Not as good as Dustin, but he's awesome. He's good, and I thought I was going to hate him, but I don't.
Awesome.
That's awesome. I think one question for both of you: match of the night or match of the weekend.
I couldn't believe how long it felt that the night one Team CWC against Kimberly's was a Warriors 3.
Yeah,
Warriors 3, yeah.
Like that, I think that one. Yeah, I think that one.
How about you, Riz?
and stiff competition, by the way.
Yeah.
Stiff competition. But that one certainly sticks out. Of course, the women finals was
because I was going to say
every match with the Japanese girls was just insane.
Mm-hmm.
So
I was going to because because the women's final is probably the easiest softball hit him out of the park answer I can give. That might have been my match currently of the year. Currently.
Nice.
I don't think there's anything that's going to top it, but they can try. But I mean, there's that match. There was the gauntlet match. There was as Sorg's favorite wrestler, Mark Angelicetti, and Missile Assault Man, which is my favorite, by the way.
Missile Assault Man definitely grew on me.
Yeah.
Do you know about Missile Assault Man?
I knew he was he was one of the ants from he was he was
Missile Assault Ant.
Yeah, he was Missile Assault Ant.
Yeah.
He was found out to have killed a lot of people in a war, and that's why he had to take off his mask.
He can also only say Missile Assault Man.
Yeah. The best part was when he was filled out the application apparently to be the Ecuador guy's
Juan
manservant for the evening.
Yeah.
Juan
Francisco de Coronado.
His Twitter is also amazing.
Chikara.
Wait, is it just Missile Assault Man?
Yeah, he'll just say Missile Assault something and then quote a tweet or something.
But yeah,
that's great. But generally, the Chikara King of Trios is a hell of an experience. If you have the opportunity, please, I highly recommend you take the trip out. If you're going to make a wrestling road trip of any sort, it's worthwhile. As we said, we know people that came from at least halfway across the country or across the pond. It's definitely definitely worthwhile. And it's great to see so many familiar faces there too, and meet some new people like in line every day, for instance. That hopefully you guys are listening. Hope you guys are checking things out, and hopefully you're part of the conversation now as well. So let us know what you thought if you went. Let us know what you thought if you've been seeing the gifts online. Let us know what you thought if you went to Bola and want to kind of compare notes with PWG.
This was an amazing weekend.
It was an awesome weekend.
I mean, for it being Labor Day and having an entire weekend on both coasts of professional wrestling, of a tournament of professional wrestling, there's nothing better than that.
Absolutely.
And hanging out with you, Sorg, and being the big spoon was amazing.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Thank you so much, Rizz, for being my road trip buddy at VE Rizz on the Twitter, and Rizz Plays Games.
Everywhere else, Sorg.
At Eamon2, please, holding it down, making sure Chikara is properly represented. He's the voice of Inspire Pro Wrestling. InspireProWrestling.com. Hey, if you want to check out Inspire and Chikara together, check out Battle Wars on Smart Mark Video.
Battle Wars 1999.
I was going to say, get tickets for that. That's on October 29th.
I'd say Battle Wars may be a worthy wrestling road trip if you're somewhere in the vicinity of Texas and as a reach.
I know people are very excited that we're doing it on a Saturday this time, so they can actually make the trip.
Go check out everything at WrestlingMayhemShow.com. We'll be doing the main Wrestling Mayhem Show every Tuesday, live at live.wrestlingmayhemshow.com. If you like this kind of stuff, it's your first time joining us, please subscribe to Wrestling Mayhem Show, Indie Mayhem Show, and so much more on the iTunes, Stitcher, Spreakers, YouTube, Facebook, video, audio formats. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys next time, perhaps at a Chikara show.